Hello and welcome to another episode of Roy B, the Middleman podcast. I'm here today with the little man, Joel B. And today we're going to be talking about, obviously, football, even though it's Christmas Eve. We're going to be talking about football because the World Cup is now finished and the Premier League is about to start again on Boxing Day after the mid-winter break, with the World Cup taking all that time in the hot place of Qatar. Well done to Argentina and Messi for being the winners. And England, as per expected, lost in the quarterfinals when they come up against the first decent team. So we're going to be talking all things Man United and other teams because we are both supporters of Man United. I made sure that when Joel was growing up that was his team. So how are you today, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
And a really amazing introduction from Joel there, short and sweet. So we'll talk about the World Cup first. What were your thoughts on the World Cup?
Yeah, it was a good World Cup, quite interesting. Obviously, awful for England. Like once we got the draw with France in the semi-finals, I knew it was out. I knew we weren't going to go further than that. And to be honest, I expected France to win it over Argentina. So yeah.
Well, I did say to my housemate, I said a South American team would win it because it's a hot country, and invariably when it's a hot country, the South American teams win it. So in that regards, yeah, I was correct. But I didn't predict Argentina to win it. I didn't think they quite had the team to do it. I know Messi was very, very influential, which, he's pretty much one of the best players in the world, equal to Ronaldo. Ronaldo didn't have quite so good a tournament. And Portugal, I think they went out in the quarters as well. I considered Portugal to be a dark horse, but they didn't quite make it. But the biggest, well done to Morocco for getting into the semis. They did really well. They actually, it weren't luck either. They actually played really well. I thought they were very good on the press, very good on the break. They actually played decent football. So it wasn't like 20 men behind the ball and just getting an odd goal here with luck. They actually played decent football.
Yeah, even Japan did as well, beating Germany and Spain in the group stages. I think they went out in the quarters.
Spain don't really have a great forward line though. They're Germany are in transition in regards to a side. They're missing a bit of a spine. The goalkeeper's on, Neuer's not as good as what he once was. So I wasn't expecting anything great from Germany or Spain. Japan, yeah, they were another surprise one, doing well and getting through to the level they did. And England, well, I was just expecting them to go out in the quarters. And I think any England fan worth his salt knew that we were going to go out in the quarters because that'd be the first time we was facing anyone decent, which we did. My issue is Gareth Southgate. Gareth Southgate is the wrong manager for the current crop of England players that we've got, which is quintessential England. The wrong manager for the players that we have because the English FA always want yes men. They don't want a manager that will stand up to him and actually pick a team he wants and go against the public and all that, everything. And in other words, actually stand a chance of us winning a World Cup or a European Championship, which we have the squad to do. We just don't have the manager because he's not proactive enough. Doesn't play on the front football, which we've got a team full of players that want to play on the front football, and he holds them back like a big bouncing dog on a leash. And then he wonders why we struggle and then go out on penalties as per usual. And all. Yeah. And technically, we didn't go out in a penalty shootout, but we did go out in penalties because Kane blazed his over the bar. And again, any manager with half a brain would have made an instruction there in the moment for Kane not to take that penalty. Because, they was playing France or he's playing against his teammate, it made it a much more difficult penalty the second time around. And they should have given it to someone else.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely Harry Kane shouldn't have taken that second penalty. Honestly, I reckon it should have been Maguire, even though all the thoughts around Maguire being a terrible defender, but he can certainly strike a penalty.
Yeah, just we've seen in the top corner.
As we saw in the 2020 Euros final against Italy, which broke a camera.
I thought it was a joke he got in player of the tournament, though.
Yeah, God, you shouldn't have got that.
Why was Varane not there?
Or even
a team that actually got to the final. Well, Martinez didn't play that much.
Yeah, but I mean,
So I can understand that, but you had plenty of others that were much better.
yeah, even probably Moroccan defender or
There were
Croatian.
better players.
Yeah, definitely.
There was definitely a better Croatian defender. That's for certain. So anyway, that's all done now. Messi gets his hands on a World Cup, elevates him up to the similar level status as Maradona of winning the top tournament for his country. That's about the only stat he's got better than Ronaldo now, pretty much. There'll always be that debate about who the GOAT is, and they're on equal par, but all the records will always have Ronaldo's name on it, pretty much. The scoring records, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So yeah, it's back to the Premier League, and I think United's first game is against Nottingham Forest, which is kind of our local that's our local Premier League team from where we're from. You could have put your Lincoln City shirt on, instead of that England crap you've got on. So I've got maybe a classic Man United shirt on. It's a reversible one, so it's white on the outside and gold on the inside.
And I've got the old school England top.
Is that the reversible one?
Yes, it's also reversible. It's red on the outside, blue on the inside.
Got the reversible ones. So, and the good thing is, it's actually it's starting to become enjoyable again about being a Man United fan.
Yeah, with Eric Ten Hag in charge, especially.
Yeah, he's doing well with what he's got. He's got Maguire out the side, which is good. Martinez and Varane, or Martinez and Lindelof, and Martinez and plus whoever tends to be a solid defence.
Yeah,
because he's just incredible.
Martinez is very much reminds me of Vidic.
Mini Vidic.
Yep.
Mini Vidic. But yeah, he just wants to win the ball, and he's not, he's a one of those tough defenders, not overly dirty, but tough. But he can play. That's the thing. He knows how to play the ball through the lines, which Maguire can, but it takes him 15 minutes to decide that he's going to do it. And by that time he gets closed down, loses the ball, then makes a ridiculous pass and costs us a goal. Yeah. He was our opponent's top scorer last year. I'm pretty certain of it. The amount of goals he gave away and own goals, he's worse than Phil Jones.
Oh, I mean, Phil Jones is a good player. It's injuries.
Rumoured to be, yeah. He had, in the early days, yeah, he had the chance to be a good player, but injuries and maybe just couldn't handle the pressure at Man United, which that happens to a lot of players. Handling that pressure at a massive club with and what the fans want of you. It has taken down many a great player, many a good player, many an average player.
Yeah, I can't going back to Martinez. I can't remember who said it, but the thing where it's like with this was said about Vidic, but same goes to Martinez about he puts his head where other players are scared to put their feet.
Yeah. Well, it made me laugh at the start of the season and all these fair weather pundits that don't really know what they're talking about, saying Martinez is too short for the Premier League, and I think he's the player with the high stats for heading.
Yeah.
And it's like he's basically just giving the middle finger up to likes of Graham Souness and all these other pundits that they claim to be ex-footballers, but they're just all crap. And I think they just do it just to create controversy. But it's like, if you want to be a pundit, speak decent stuff.
Yeah.
Prove that you know about football by talking proper football. That time back in when Fergie brought all the kids through with Alan Hansen saying you'll never win anything with kids, that was actually kind of a valid statement in a way, because bringing that, especially just let Ince, Hughes, and Kanchelskis go, really top quality first teamers that were still playing really well for United, and brought in the Scholes and Beckhams and the Nevilles and
Giggs.
Or Giggs was already in the first team by then anyway.
No.
But they brought on Nicky Butt and Scholes and they came through and they proved everyone wrong, and we did the double that year. That was 95, was that 93, 95?
92, class 92, is that?
Class 9, yeah, the class 9. Yeah, but that's when there was in the youth side. 95, I think they all started to come through. Because we lost against Aston Villa. And yeah, Alan Hansen has regretting that statement ever since. But sometimes, players need that incentive. David Beckham was once told that he'd never play for Man United by a school teacher. You're kidding yourself. You never play for Man United. Who do you think you are? And then he became one of the most iconic number 7s that we've ever had. He wore this shirt. And he was playing for United when this shirt was out. So, yeah, long before your time. You missed the golden age. I've seen... Yeah. I've been very lucky to see Cantona play, to see Ronaldo play, to see Giggs play, to see Rooney play, to see Scholes play. I was actually at the game of Rooney's debut when he scored the hat-trick.
Although to be fair, I did more or less grow up with Rooney.
Yeah.
Him coming to the side in what 2002 was it?
Yeah, you were born in 2005.
Yeah,
So.
stayed.
Yeah, you saw Rooney in his prime. That's for certain.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll get you over to England one day to
Yeah.
get you to Old Trafford. And yeah, so United, whether we'll get top 4 this season, it all depends. We have got to buy
Striker, definitely.
Yeah, because as Goldbridge says from the United stand, there's other teams are going to be buying in January, and if we don't, we'll get left behind.
Yeah, Chelsea have already made 2 signings, I believe.
Oh, they bought a Kunku, didn't they?
Yeah, they bought Christopher and Kunku, and
That's a good signing.
Frimpong, but different Frimpong, I believe.
What, right back?
Not right back, but no, last name Frimpong, but not the.
Oh, not the right back Frimpong.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I believe so, anyway.
Yeah.
Common last name.
And Newcastle will buy. Forest are talking about buying another 15 players or something. They've already bought 47 players this season.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try and get 2 teams. But the other night, United played against Burnley. We had not a full strength, but almost full strength side. And considering it was on the back of the World Cup, we actually played really well. We dominated the game. And Burnley are no mugs. They're top of the Championship and playing really well under Vincent Kompany, playing really good football. And we restricted them to nothing. And we had Lindelof and Casemiro in defence.
Yeah.
The quality of Casemiro is just he's got to be one of the buys of the season. Because he's transformed the United side because he's got Scott McTominay out of it. And it also means that, if we need to, we can. I think I'd rather play Casemiro if we haven't got fit defenders than Maguire because he's better than Maguire.
Yeah.
Because he knows he can keep that calmness in defence and talk. That's it. He's got that verbal. He's got that ability to control not only the game through the tempo and be able to play through the lines, but also talk to players around him to tell them where to be. He was. That's why I was surprised Brazil didn't get as far in the World Cup because with him in the midfield, you've always got a chance.
Although, to be fair, they did also have Fred in the midfield.
Yeah, but not for every game.
Yeah.
And
that injury with Neymar, probably.
Yeah, but that was in the group. They got through with that. It didn't make any difference, really, because he was back for the game where they went out.
No.
Just one of those things. Brazil have been a bit like that of late, of flattered to deceive and not get as far as they should do. The long time away from the heady days where there was just ruling the world. They've still got 5 World Cups.
Yeah, it's like what, 3 of them?
Yeah. It'll be a long time before any other player gets 3 World Cups.
Yeah, I'd probably say the next one maybe would be Mbappe.
Well, no, because he could do because
he's only 22 now. He's won already.
I thought he was older than 22.
No, 22, 23, I believe.
Yeah.
He's already won one.
Yeah, he's already won one. So, 26 and 30. But he'd have to win the next 2.
Yeah.
So, it's look. And that's the thing. It's easy to say that kind of thing, but a lot of people tend to forget when they talk about World Cups. They're every 4 years.
Yeah.
So, like you look at Ronaldo and Messi, they were one of the next, what was it? They are, I think, player 4 and 5 that have played at 5 World Cups. And so a lot of goalkeepers don't play at 5 World Cups.
No, I think actually Ronaldo and Messi were the first 2 other than female footballers, but
no, they weren't.
Really?
Yeah, there was 3 others that played at 5 World Cups. And Messi was the very first player to score in every round. In the groups, the quarters, the semis, and the final. And but that was Ronaldo's last. That'll be Messi's last. But you've got a good side, but we've got no defence really. Unfortunately. Anyway, off that, we're back to the Premier League. I'm glad it's starting again. Whether we're going to get top 4 again,
I'd say we can. We're 5th now.
As long as Varane stays fit, but you've got to remember, because the stupid thing is, we're going to be to the end of the season now. It's 3 games a week, and for some reason they still refuse to drop Carling Cup, the League Cup final, down to a single game. So that's if we get into the semi-final, that's a double game that we've got to play. Got to try and squeeze in somewhere. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. And then there's the FA Cup. So if we keep getting through that, we're going to be playing. They're going to be putting off games. We're going to be playing long into June, I think, at this rate. Or they're going to try and, because there's no way they can try and, at the end of the season, they can try and make us play 2 or 3 weeks running 4 games a week.
Yeah, no way.
Every other day, because that's just a joke. But knowing the FA, how much they hate United, they'll probably do that because they're dickheads. The FA just haven't got a clue what they're doing. It's just all these old men at the top that are still old, even older men at the top that just aren't in touch with modern day football. Well, I haven't got an idea, which is why they keep Southgate in the team.
For United, I'd mainly focus on the Carabao Cup just to get a trophy. Even though it's Carabao, it's still a trophy. And then just also focus on Champions League football next season.
But you look at, because that's the thing, we're still in Europe as well. Still got that to go.
Yeah.
You look at all the top teams over the years, and Fergie did this. They'd try and get to win the Carabao Cup, so they got the players used to what it felt like to win. That's, and City do it. Yeah. Liverpool do it. That's how you get the players used to winning and what it feels like to win.
Yeah.
And I've seen all the top teams do that. That's why a lot of the smaller teams don't win the Carabao Cup anymore, because the top managers see winning the Carabao Cup as a stepping stone to winning the league or winning the FA Cup, and it's that progression. Because Fergie won I think it's the Milk Cup, no, it wasn't Rumbelows Cup, I think.
Yeah.
In 1992, but he also won the European Cup Winners' Cup in 1991. Yeah. So he started with the different trophies and there was already winning stuff before we won the league in 92, 93. So we was already winners. That's what I mean. We just missed out in the final season of the League One Championship before it became the Premier League.
Look at Pep. He won, first trophy he won at City was the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, because they know the importance. It gets players used to winning. It's one of the trophies that Fergie didn't win that much, even throughout his tenure, because he was too busy winning Premier Leagues and FA Cups and the Champions League a couple of times. Yeah, but it's going to be an interesting season because it's just going to be chaotic now. But that's going to contribute to tiredness at my end because we live in Australia, so I still get up to watch football. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it is. Last season I didn't so much because United, but that terrible they weren't worth getting up to watch. So you're a lightweight. You couldn't even get up at 6 o'clock the other morning to watch them without falling asleep at 6:05.
Yeah, well,
teenagers. Lightweights when it comes to football. So what's your thoughts on the Premier League the rest of the season?
Yeah, like you said, it'll be hectic. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hoping, I don't think we'll win it, but
oh God, no, we're not going to win it. That'd be stupid.
We'll definitely. I reckon we can definitely get top 4, if 4th at least, because we're sitting at 5th now.
Look, you can never say never because Leicester won the league.
Yeah,
that was 7 years ago now.
No, what?
Yeah, because I saw something the other day and it said 7 years ago.
I thought it was in 2017. Yeah, 2017. Didn't they win it? Or was it 2015?
2015.
Yeah.
There might be someone in the comments.
Jeez.
I'll check.
Yeah.
I'll get my phone out. You talk to the camera while I'm looking at.
But no, yeah, definitely need quite a few signings in January. Cody Gakpo's probably going to be the striker that we're going to get. But I'd say we still need a backup maybe, or promote Charlie McNeil through.
2015, 2016.
Yeah.
7 years ago. Wow.
Jeez. Technically 6 because they would have won it.
One of the biggest. They won it before Liverpool did, which was funny. Imagine if you put a bet on that Leicester would win the Premier League before Liverpool would.
Yeah.
The odds you'd get for that. But they were something like 100 to 1 anyway.
Well, yeah, because they nearly got relegated the season prior.
Yeah. Just shows that you get a team together that have got no outside football with like Europe or anything like that, and they're consistent. And with Vardy, because the thing is, they had a good goal scorer and they had a good defence.
Yeah.
And Ranieri wasn't a bad man. He was a good manager on his day. He was a top manager on his day. Managed big clubs.
Plus Kasper Schmeichel in goal, decent goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's it. They had a good spine. Mahrez was, you know, Madison and
Yeah.
Vardy, and they had not who else was there?
Tielemans there then, or
No, oh, it might have been, but yeah, you know, good defenders as well.
yeah,
Yeah, yes, yes. They've won it. You know, last time we won it was 2013, which is so nearly 10 years. So we're nearly
Yeah.
halfway through the previous time we was on a drought of 26 years. That's scary. But Ten Hag will get us there within the next few years, I truly believe, because he's building a good side now. He knows how to buy proper players. Like all his signings so far have been decent. Malacia looks a good player. He'll develop. Anthony will get used to the Premier League and he'll develop. And Martinez has just shone straight away. Casemiro is just absolute world class. The best defensive midfielder in the world.
And also the fact that there's a lot of talk around the Glazers actually leaving the club.
Yes, come on.
Finally. Hopefully.
That's what I want for Christmas, the Glazers to leave.
But if they leave, that'll give us kind of whoever buys us will give us a lot of more free reign, hopefully. Well,
they might back the manager instead of backing their own pockets.
Yeah.
And get us out of debt because they bought us on debt. And they should. Thing is, the FA should never have allowed that in the first place. No club should be allowed to be bought on leveraged debt. Never, ever again. It's like if you can't afford the club, then you don't get to buy. But it's just shocking. I reckon they're probably just used as a money laundering club.
Yeah.
They are Americans after all. Buying Man United with their fiat money.
But although, to be fair, one of the people looking to buy us is Amazon.
Yeah, but at least they're a massive, giant, multinational company. And,
yeah, true.
And, you know, they'll want United to succeed because that'll then promote there. As long as they don't as long as they don't build a new stadium and call it the Amazon Stadium or something stupid like that. It's United's ground's got to remain Old Trafford. It has to be. It's just too iconic to be renamed. Or if they do build a brand new one, call it New Trafford or something, you know. Or let the fans name it.
Yeah, there's like 3 big stadiums that you just can't change at all. And Bernabeu, Camp Nou, and Old Trafford.
Yeah, I'd put Anfield in that.
Yeah, true as well.
You know, yeah. And, you know, they didn't rename Wembley.
No, they didn't. I was just about to mention that. Wembley's still Wembley.
Yeah, albeit very different. Again, I was at the very last game at Wembley when we lost 1-0 to Germany in the driving rain, and Kevin Keegan got booed off the ground, booed off because he was manager at the time, and he was just dire. Dear to Hammond scored a long-range free kick, and it was just like, you know, final game at Wembley. But even then, that's not just the manager, but it's up to the players.
Yeah.
You know it's the final game at Wembley, turn up. And they didn't. You know, turn up, and against your worst rivals, Germany, at the time, turn up. And they didn't. Still, international football. Yes. Glad the Premier League is back.
Yep.
For the rest of the season. I don't know if there's any more international friendlies up until the end of the season.
I don't know.
I hope not. Because international breaks, they should cancel all international games until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Really, just to give the players that extra week to cram a couple of games in, because there's just going to be so many games. It's going to be chaotic. There's going to be injuries. It's going to be a hard thing to predict because whoever stays injury free is going to do really well.
Yeah,
Arsenal have already lost their main striker. City have got the biggest squad to back it up, but their second string squad isn't as fluent as the first string.
No,
and other teams know that. And you only need an injury to Haaland. That's going to stop them scoring again. We're paper thin. You know, we only have to lose Martinez and Varane, and that's it.
Although,
because
to be fair,
Maguire and Lindelof.
With if Haaland gets injured, they still have Julian Alvarez, who did kind of do really well in the World Cup as well.
Yeah, but he did have Messi setting him up.
True.
It's different.
But I mean, they have De Bruyne.
But you can't compare international football to. This is where a lot of teams fall into a trap of buying a player that did well at the World Cup and he turns out to be crap. We've done it. We did it with Poborski. Poborski didn't do very well. Yet the unknown who we bought from the World Cup at the time in Chicharito, he had a great career at United. You know, the little Mexican, he was a hell of a goal scorer still.
Great first goal.
Yeah, yeah.
Off his face.
Off his face. Yeah. Missed kicking it into the ground, it bouncing off his face and going in against it. He was Chelsea's bane, wasn't he? He scored against Chelsea. Just like
Park and Arsenal.
Park and Arsenal, yeah, Jason Park. What to have him
scored?
Have another version of him in the team.
He scored like 30 goals for Man United and 13 against Arsenal.
Freddie's just a wish version of Jason Park.
Yeah, he's got the lungs, just don't have the skill.
No, Jason Park, what a player he was. What a player.
Yeah, what Rio said about him not too long ago about when they was playing Milan in Milan with who was it? Basically one of Milan's best players.
Well, one of the best players of all time.
Yeah,
Pirlo, yeah, who just could control games. It was just easy for him to control.
Rio saying that Pirlo woke up the next morning expecting Park to be at the end of his bed.
Yeah, so he had to be in bed next to him. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, Pirlo said it was the ultimate compliment ever paid to him because they used a player that was so selfless just to mark him out of the game, and that Fergie utilised that player to mark him out of the game to nullify that team to get through.
And in the what Fergie said about the Champions League final, that if he had played Park on Messi, that they would have won.
Yeah, he did say that. He said if he brought Park on at half time, he would have won that game. Yeah, well, managers, with hindsight, you can win a lot of games.
Yep.
Well, this was just a quick or a slightly shorter episode of Roy B. the Middleman podcast. I'd like to wish everybody a happy Christmas and a prosperous new year. And eat, drink, and be merry tomorrow. And then you got football on the next day, Boxing Day.
Yep.
Boxing Day Premier League. I'm not sure what time United are on. I'll have to look that up. But anyway,
Nottingham Forest. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be good. My dad, who's in spirit now, he was a Forest fan, so he can watch from above. And so I'll see you all in 2023. Maybe an episode between Christmas and New Year, depending on if I can get hold of any of my guests that I've got on the list. They're all away and doing family things, of course. It was easy to do this one because he's with me for Christmas. And so thanks very much for watching Roy B. the Middleman podcast. If there's any episodes you haven't seen of the previous episodes, this is episode 18, which is Scholes' number. Visit the previous episodes. We're hitting all around the world. France the other day. Someone from France watched the episode, so thank you very much for that person in France. And also Bangkok. Those are a couple of new places where people have been tuning in to watch this podcast. So I'm really pleased about that. So yeah, if I don't see you in between Christmas and New Year, I will see you in 2023. So take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
Merry
Christmas and Happy New Year.
Goodbye from the little man. Goodbye from Roy B. the Middleman. Time for the outro.